Just, the fire in my heart, being from my mom and my dad separating and divorcing at 8 years old.
Tucked away behind an unassuming gate in the affluent community of Danville, California, lies an opulent multi-million-dollar estate. Its garage serves less as a place for vehicles and more as a pristine showroom radiating influence. While champagne is a frequent guest, it is the bottles bearing the E-40 brand that are uncorked on a daily basis. Officially, E-40's net worth is estimated around $10 million, yet that figure fails to encompass the true scale of the empire he has constructed over almost 3 decades. His legacy extends far beyond chart-topping singles or the glare of the spotlight. This represents the genuine E-40 empire, a dynasty built on silent, methodical wealth, substantial enough to endure and eclipse a whole generation of artists who once believed they were invincible. Earl Stevens entered the world on November 15, 1967 in Vallejo, California. This city was a world away from the American dream, its very existence tied to the fortunes of the Mare Island Naval Base. Once the government funding ceased, employment security and prospects vanished along with it. Crime rates surged as the city spiraled into a prolonged decline during the 1970s and 80s, and the Earl's household was a direct reflection of this hardship. His parents separated when he was young, thrusting his mother into the position of raising 3 children alone with no stable income. She accepted any work available to make ends meet, and the concept of comfort was a luxury his family simply could not afford. Earl never received a formal education in business or finance. His teacher was life itself. A crucial lesson was ingrained in him. From a young age, a lack of money equates to a lack of options. This fundamental understanding would go on to influence every decision he made. While his contemporaries were spending lavishly to project an image of success, Earl was diligently saving, forever mindful of a time when he possessed nothing. For him, hip-hop wasn't merely a fanciful dream. It presented itself as a practical blueprint for success. Around the age of 12, listening to rappers' delight ignited a profound realization within him. He saw that this was more than just artistic expression, it was a source of revenue. In Earl's eyes, hip-hop represented a viable system for generating income. He took up drumming in elementary school, approaching music not as a whimsical fantasy, but as a tangible skill to be mastered. Later, during his time at James J. Hogan High School, while his peers were focused on athletics, Earl and his siblings were busy recording their own songs. They would personally duplicate cassette tapes and sell them directly to people throughout their neighborhood. These were straightforward transactions, cash in exchange for their music. Yet these early experiences laid the very groundwork for a career defined by independence, relentless hustle, and complete control. In the year 1985, Earl Stevens departed from Vallejo to attend Grambling State University in Louisiana, pursuing the promise of a college education. However, the actual experience fell far short of his aspirations. Finding himself in an environment of unfamiliar lecture halls, it did not take long for him to recognize that formal higher education was not his intended journey. He left after a single year, not with a sense of failure, but with a newfound sense of purpose. He understood that his destiny would not be forged with a college degree. Upon returning to California in 1986, Earl transformed his identity, adopting the moniker E-40, a name derived directly from the lexicon of street culture, and the iconic 40-ounce bottle. He was not embarking on this journey by himself. He established the Clique, a formidable family collective that included his sister Sugar T, his brother D-Shot, and their cousin B-Legit. While many of his peers sought the validation of the established music industry, E-40 forged his own path, entirely launching Stick With It Records in 1990 and placing a significant wager on the power of independence. That gamble ultimately paid off. By 1992, their project, Down and Dirty, secured a spot on the Billboard R&B hip-hop chart, which was a practically unprecedented achievement for an independent group hailing from Vallejo. The following year, Captain Sava Ho sparked widespread controversy, and gained national attention, effectively going viral long before that term even existed in the popular lexicon. The major breakthrough occurred in 1995 with Game Related, which peaked at an impressive number 3 on the R&B hip-hop chart and number 21 on the Billboard 200. Through this success, E-40 demonstrated that a combination of disciplined structure, complete ownership, and family unity could transform a musical endeavor into a lasting dynasty. Vallejo had officially made its mark on the national scene. Following the year 2001, the clique went their separate ways. The group ceased making waves collectively as each member pursued individual projects, but by this point, E-40 had already firmly established his own unshakable foundation. His solo career was characterized not by fleeting glamour, but by enduring strength. Beginning with Federal in 1993, he meticulously cultivated a devoted and fiercely loyal fan base throughout the Bay Area. Then in 1994, he inked a deal with Jive Records, distinguishing himself as one of the pioneering West Coast artists to secure a major label contract while ingeniously retaining creative control. The year 1995 saw the release of In a Major Way, an album featuring collaborations with legends like Tupac and Spice One, which solidified his immense commercial influence. What came next was an unstoppable streak throughout the late 90s, during which he delivered a series of gold-certified albums, including The Hall of Game, The Element of Surprise, and Charlie Hustle. E-40's strategy was never about chasing fleeting moments of fame. It was about meticulously constructing a legacy built for longevity. What truly distinguishes E-40 is straightforward. His survival never hinged on a single massive hit. He operated with unwavering consistency, regularly releasing new albums, nurturing his dedicated fan base, and maintaining ownership of his work. While other artists experienced a brilliant flash and then faded away, E-40 patiently constructed his empire piece by piece. By the year 2006, at a time when many rappers from his generation had vanished from the scene, E-40 secured a new deal with Lil Jon's BME Recordings and Warner Brothers. The outcome of this partnership sent shockwaves through the entire industry. His album, My Ghetto Report Card, made a spectacular debut, entering the Billboard 200 at number 3 and claiming the top spot on the top R&B hip-hop albums chart. This achievement served as definitive proof that an artist over 40 years old could still profoundly influence the culture. The lead single, Tell Me When to Go, evolved into an anthem for the Bay Area and successfully introduced E-40 to an entirely new generation of listeners. This success was not a comeback. It was a powerful confirmation of his enduring relevance. It underscored the principle that steady progress, guided by a clear vision, far outlasts a frantic sprint with no destination in mind. E-40's solo journey stands as a masterclass in the art of accumulation. It is the story of a sustainable empire, not a fleeting success, one that remains formidable and influential even after 30 years. He distinguished himself as one of the earliest West Coast hip-hop artists to partner with Jive Records, all while securing complete creative autonomy and receiving substantial financial advances. Possessing a catalog of over 20 albums and holding the ownership of the majority of his masters, he generates an estimated $2 to $3 million annually just from passive income via streaming royalties. A guest feature on a track commands a fee between $25,000 and $50,000, and his live performances bring in anywhere from $40,000 to over $75,000, figures he has consistently earned for decades. That level of income is enough to rebuild entire neighborhoods, yet for him, music was merely the launching point. The element that truly distinguished E-40 was his business acumen. While many of his contemporaries squandered their earnings, he made early and strategic investments. During the 1990s, he shrewdly and discreetly invested in Microsoft, positioning himself as one of the very few musical artists to capitalize on the technology sector's explosive growth. As the company's stock value skyrocketed, so too did his personal fortune. Later on, he ventured into the world of franchising, securing a deal with Wingstop in 2007 that provided a reliable, low-risk stream of revenue. Some of his previous business ventures, including a Fatburger restaurant and a San Jose nightclub, were not as successful. However, E-40 demonstrated his sharp business sense by exiting those ventures, swiftly choosing to cut his losses rather than protect his ego. His most significant commercial triumph would come from the beverage industry. In 2013, he introduced Earl Stevens Selections. Then, in 2014, he debuted Mangoscato, a unique 18% alcohol by volume sweet wine specifically created for the mature hip-hop audience. It was marketed without ostentatious luxury branding or massive advertising campaigns. Its appeal was rooted purely in culture. The product swiftly became a bestseller in numerous states, offering undeniable proof that E-40's true genius lay not just in his lyrical ability, but in his talent for making money generate perpetual returns. Following this success came the launch of Function Red Blend. While many other artists are busy popping champagne bottles for a single night of celebration at a club, E-40's branded wine is being sold consistently every single day, all year round. The annual revenue generated from his wine enterprise is estimated to be in the tens of millions. The fundamental secret to his success in the wine industry boils down to two factors: smart distribution and unwavering fan loyalty. He understands he is not merely selling a beverage, he is marketing a complete lifestyle, and to do so, he developed his very own distribution strategy. He masterfully converted millions of devoted followers into lifelong consumers of his products. In E-40's philosophy, automobiles are not frivolous playthings, they are powerful declarations. Within the exclusive realm of high-end vehicles, only a handful of names command a sense of ultimate authority. Rolls-Royce occupies the absolute pinnacle, and its Cullinan, with a base price near $350,000, serves as E-40's primary vehicle. It's far more than a sport utility vehicle. Beneath its hood rests a colossal 6.75-liter V12 engine that provides such fluid, effortless power it operates in near silence. The cabin itself feels less like an automobile and more like a first-class suite on a private aircraft, featuring hand-stitched leather exotic wood accents and polished metal finishes. It's luxury that needs no announcement. While the Cullinan represents power capable of going anywhere, the Rolls-Royce Phantom is his personal throne. The iconic Starlight headliner transforms the ceiling into a breathtaking private galaxy, and the entire interior exudes an air of pure monarchy. The Phantom never hurries because it simply has no need to. Its sheer presence is enough to declare that the entire game has already been won. But do not mistake this serene wealth for a diminished drive. At his core, E-40 remains a devotee of high speed. This is precisely where the Ferrari 488 Spider makes its entrance. This convertible was engineered for the winding coastlines of the Bay Area and the thrill of the open air. Its twin turbocharged V8 engine unleashes over 660 horsepower, rocketing the car from 0 to 60 miles per hour in a sliver over 3 seconds. When it unleashes its roar, entire city blocks snap to attention. Its value hovers around $300,000, yet the experience of driving it is truly immeasurable. Then we have the formidable Ferrari 812 Superfast, which stands as one of the very last V12 beasts, built with a naturally aspirated engine. It generates nearly 800 horsepower, achieves top speeds exceeding 210 miles per hour, and carries a price tag considerably north of $400,000. This machine is not just another car. It represents the final magnificent chapter in pure Italian mechanical artistry before the automotive world transitions completely to electric power. It was never intended for the masses, which is precisely what makes it a perfect fit in E-40's garage. However, alongside these modern marvels of engineering, E-40 holds a profound reverence for the classics. It is in this passion that he truly distinguishes himself from the majority of affluent rappers. He isn't merely amassing old vehicles, he is actively preserving the heritage of West Coast culture. Each classic automobile within his collection is a meticulously preserved rolling time capsule restored with profound purpose and deep respect. Consider the 1975 Chevrolet Caprice Classic. This particular vehicle is a piece of pure California street legacy. Adorned in a profound black paint that reflects with the clarity of a mirror, it evokes the magnificent golden age of lowriders, a time when style was unhurried and commanding presence was more important than sheer velocity. Every single detail is perfectly executed. Nothing is rushed, nothing is done cheaply. Next is the 1963 Chevrolet Impala, a truly authentic lowrider that has been fully outfitted with a complete hydraulic suspension system. Keeping automobiles of this caliber in prime condition is no small feat. It demands genuine expertise, immense patience, and a substantial long-term financial commitment. Complementing these are a series of classic box Chevys and Impalas, each one rebuilt with oversized rims, aggressively lowered stances, and audio systems potent enough to transform an entire neighborhood block into a concert venue. These vehicles are not merely cars, they are cultural artifacts, and as time passes they do not depreciate, they appreciate. This is because masterpieces like these grow rarer and more iconic with each passing year. On the professional front, E-40 maintains an equally commanding presence. His Cadillac Escalade Platinum, with a value exceeding $100,000, is entirely customized with opulent interiors and is designed to transport teams, facilitate meetings, and manage business operations. While in transit, it's enormous, authoritative, and utterly impossible to overlook a perfect match for a boss who has been a central figure in the industry for decades. E-40 doesn't acquire cars simply to occupy garage space. Each vehicle serves a distinct purpose, either for advancing his business ventures or for safeguarding the culture he has championed from the very first day. The entire collection's value is estimated to be between $2.5 and $3 million, a significant sum, but one that aligns perfectly with a man who has spent a lifetime building an empire, not squandering it. After accumulating all the wealth, assets, and influence over many decades, there remains one thing that E-40 holds more valuable than anything else. It's not the recording studio, the corporate boardroom, or even his multi-million-dollar car collection. It is his family, the quiet, unyielding foundation upon which his entire legacy has been constructed. In a Hollywood environment where celebrity frequently descends into chaos, a 40 stands out as a remarkable exception. His private life has never been a source of public spectacle. There are no scandals, no turbulent breakups broadcast for the world to see, only a profound stability that almost feels like the ultimate extravagance in the entertainment world. E-40 married his wife Tracy back in 1991, well before the massive fame and immense fortune arrived, back when his career was still being assembled, piece by painstaking piece. Over 3 decades later, their bond remains strong, upheld not by showy social media posts or grand public gestures, but by quiet consistency. Tracy purposefully avoids the limelight. She has never sought to embrace the stereotypical role of a famous rapper's wife, and yet she has been a silent but instrumental presence behind many of E-40's most pivotal career decisions. In various interviews, E-40 has alluded to how this stable partnership helped him sidestep the common pitfalls that have derailed so many other artists: unchecked ego, rampant excess, and ultimate self-destruction. Together they have raised 2 sons, Earl Jr. and Amari. While both are pursuing music, neither is being pressured to exist within their father's immense shadow. E-40 did not simply pave the way for them, he taught them how to navigate their own paths. His sons were raised to understand patience, discipline, and the profound value of earning their own success. For them, music is not some birthright, It is a deliberate choice which reflects E-40's core, philosophy as a parent. True success isn't about bequeathing a crown to someone. It's about teaching them the right way to wear it when their moment arrives, surrounded by immense wealth, great influence, and decades of incredible success. E-40 has successfully shielded something that no amount of money can purchase: a strong, unified family life. Ultimately, this may very well be his most significant accomplishment of all. After more than 30 years in a business where public scandals are practically a given, E-40 has maintained an astoundingly clean record. There is no prison history, no chaotic relationship drama, no spectacular public implosion. This isn't to say that tense situations never arose. It signifies that when they did, they only served to reveal his true character and his deliberate way of operating. The most definitive instance occurred in April of 2023 during a playoff game between the Sacramento Kings and the Los Angeles Lakers. In a development that stunned fans everywhere, E-40 was instructed to vacate the arena by NBA security despite being seated in exclusive VIP seats. The news headline practically created itself. A West Coast hip-hop icon is ejected from a major playoff game. According to the NBA's statement, the incident began with a verbal altercation between E-40 and another attendee. The detail that ignited the controversy was straightforward. Only E-40 was ejected from the venue. The other parties remained. This is precisely when his true character was displayed. There was no shouting, no social media tirade, and no angry threats. He simply stated with composure that he believed he was treated unjustly, and that was all. The public reaction was instantaneous. The Sacramento Kings organization, along with numerous artists and athletes from across the culture, offered their public support. A few days later, the NBA issued a clarification on the matter. Rather than suffering reputational damage, E-40 emerged with his respect enhanced, widely viewed as an individual who managed a difficult public situation with immense dignity and admirable restraint. That very sense of balance has been a hallmark of his entire career. E-40 is well known for speaking his mind directly, at times quite pointedly. Throughout the years, he has made observations about younger rappers short-sighted, thinking, and artists who lack financial literacy. Excerpts from those interviews have sometimes gone viral, shorn of their full context, which has led some critics to label him as out of touch or overly rigid. But herein lies the critical distinction. These frank words never escalated into genuine conflicts. There were no diss tracks or protracted public feuds, primarily because those within the industry understand the underlying truth. E-40 is not actively seeking out controversy. He is offering wisdom as a man who has endured 3 decades in an industry that notoriously consumes its own. His absence of scandals is not a product of luck. It is a testament to his discipline. He consciously steers clear of chaotic party environments. He keeps his family life private. He maintains a firm boundary between his professional endeavors and his private world. This approach results in fewer sensational headlines, but it serves to safeguard something far more precious: his long-term credibility. That understated reputation is the very reason E-40 is able to partner with major corporate entities, establish a successful wine empire, and operate like a genuine business magnate. A single significant scandal could have wiped all of that away in an instant. He simply never allowed for that possibility. Success provided E-40 with many choices, and one of his most consistent has been giving back to the community that nurtured him. For E-40, philanthropy is not a public relations maneuver or a method for image polishing. He seldom takes the stage to publicize his donations. In fact, most of his charitable acts only become public knowledge when another person decides to share the story. Having been born and raised in the Bay Area, E-40 never perceived his success as an escape route. Instead, he viewed it as a fundamental duty to reinvest. From creating programs for disadvantaged youth and funding local scholarships, to supporting a range of educational and social initiatives throughout the region, he contributes discreetly. There is no fanfare and no performative display. What truly distinguishes him is his methodology of giving. He avoids trends, hashtags, and ostentatious campaigns. His unwavering focus is on generating real sustainable impact, assisting young people in getting an education, bolstering families during difficult periods, and ensuring that vital local programs can continue their work. In the Bay Area, he understands that steady consistency is infinitely more valuable than a fleeting headline-grabbing moment. E-40 also invests his time deeply in the next wave of musical artists. Unlike many established figures who might offer only a token mentorship, his involvement is genuinely hands-on. He welcomes them into his studio, imparts hard-won wisdom about contracts, publishing rights, and financial management, critical knowledge that far too many young artists acquire only after it's too late, ultimately facing a heavy cost. In E-40's view, empowering an artist with the knowledge to safeguard their career is infinitely more valuable than a simple payout. Now, as we move deeper into 2026, it's clear that E-40 has absolutely no intention of taking his foot off the gas. Despite his status as an undisputed icon of West Coast rap, he continues to unleash fresh singles and team up with the most prominent artists of the current generation. A glance at Apple Music reveals that the year 2025 was particularly prolific, with his name credited on a string of new projects. Tracks like Crash Out, You Feel Me Show Out Too Much, and Gang 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 Land all garnered significant attention, racking up impressive streaming numbers on every major digital service. Out of this impressive batch, his collaboration You Feel Me, featuring Larry June and Cardo Got Wings, truly captured the spotlight, celebrated as a relaxed but undeniably authentic West Coast anthem. However, 2025 was about more than just contemporary hits. It was a year dedicated to honoring his profound legacy. This was highlighted in June when E-40 took the stage for a landmark performance celebrating the 30th anniversary of In a Major Way. That was the pivotal record that catapulted him from his underground origins into the national spotlight. The event was far from a simple trip down memory lane. It served as a powerful declaration that E-40's impact is as potent as ever, earning him continued admiration from both his fan base and industry critics. His acclaimed appearance on Tiny Desk, combined with persistent attention from international media, further cemented this very fact. Clearly, E-40 is not an artist content to simply rely on his past achievements. In an age where so many veteran performers are content to ride the wave of their classic hits, he is actively charting new creative territories, constantly evolving his craft, and ensuring his voice remains a relevant part of the modern conversation. This unwavering presence does more than just bolster his musical career. It demonstrates a profound long-term dedication to his influence and enduring legacy. So it begs the question, what defines E-40's ultimate contribution? Is it his groundbreaking music, his sprawling business empire, or his sheer resilience in not just surviving, but flourishing for more than 30 years in hip-hop? Make sure to like and subscribe so you never miss our future explorations into the sagas of hip-hop's most iconic figures. There are countless more layers to peel back, revealing the resilience, the legacies, and the hidden truths of the culture. We appreciate you tuning in, and we'll catch you on the next one.